next item I think we should talk about are boots, as this is the main thing that most reenactors tend to get caught up in. So I actually have two pairs of boots. There's another pair of boots down here. I can go ahead and grab them. So here I have two pairs of boots. These are these are actually cadet boots, but or my granddad would call them your work boots. So these are good for, you know, giving them a good polish, so on and so forth. There's the underneath. Yeah, these are my work boots, as we would call it. So these will be good for polishing and so on and so forth. They've got the pebble grain effect. Very nice overall boot, and yeah. I do have another pair of boot here. These are ammunition boots, but these are actually a set of modern ammunition boots. So I actually bought these off of eBay as well. They weren't in the best condition. All the hobnails were missing. Well, not all of them, but some of them. And the heel, I'm not sure whether it was on this one or the other one, was completely, it was at an angle. So clearly where the previous soldier done all the about turns and stuff in the boot. These have been restored by a cobbler, so that's why they look all brand new. These will do for now until I get a pair of ammo boots, a pair of reproduction ammo boots from Soldier of Fortune. Unless someone knows a better company that does make ammunition boots, then please let me know. But other than that, the overall general design of ammunition boot hasn't changed quite a bit. It's just an ammo boot at the end of the day. And as long as it has hobnails, makes a good crunching noise when you're walking around, it should be fine. But if you are, if you are getting into the reenacting hobby, you can get these as good beginner boots, especially if you're doing British reenacting. You can get these as good beginner boots. You can buy these for around about 30 quid, 30, 40 quid. Which is not bad as a beginner boot, but you will be having to buy a pair of Soldier of Fortune. Not sponsored, like mentioned. So, yeah, but other than that, they're pretty good. They did come with fabric laces, like what was on here, like these fabric laces. But of course, ever since they went to a cobbler and they've had the sole and the heel redone, they've also got leather laces as well, which is correct for the standard type at the time of World War II. You would have leather laces, but overall, boots wise, these are good if I'm just like out on parade or whatever, and they're nice and shiny. These are also good for parade as well, or even at events as well. So it's choose your own really, see which boot. But these will do for now until I get a good reproduction pair. So there's not really much I can say about the boots. Aside from I've got two pairs here. This one is very similar to Boots DMS, which is boots from the 1980s, and of course this one's like an ammunition boot. So other than that, that's not too bad. And we'll move on to the next set of. Let's have a quick chat about anklets real quick. So these are anklets. These are much more simpler to use than puttees, in my personal opinion.
unlike puttees where you have to wrap it around your leg, these are just way much more simpler. You know, you just simply just take that, wrap it around your boot, take the leather or canvas tabs, pull, put it underneath the buckle, pull, rinse, and see, repeat until it should go around your leg. If you ever want to get one of these or get some anklets, they do them in many different sizes. You get them in size 1, size 2, and the most commonly used size by reenactors and living historians, size 3. These are some post-war anklets. So this one's a Bag Craft 1954. This is a SOC, also 1954. These are not good for my impression, as in World War II you did have, of course, the leather, but however you never had these types of buckles here. You had brass or steel. Brass was very much abundant during the war, and they used brass, but of course later things became economized and they went to steel. But yeah, size 3 is the most commonly used size. You can get size 4 and size 5, which are massive, and they are way much harder to find than size 3 or size 2. Size 2 is a little bit smaller than a size 3, but other than that, if you can get them to work around some ammo boots, they will work. Not much else to say, they're just bog standard anklets. So, now that we've talked about boots and anklets, let's talk about some of the other accessories of an airborne soldier. This is a camouflage face veil, or more commonly effectively known as a scrim scarf. So, it is a massive piece of netting, just like so. See, it is humongous. You are supposed to cut these down, by the way. And what you would do is, you would simply take it, and it's not on camera, but you would simply take the face veil, and what you would do is, you would simply just, if I can get the other end, the other corner, grab a hold of the other ends, just like so. So you do that, and of course you would make it into a scrim scarf. Well, that's what the airborne done. They turned these, made them into scrim scarves, effectively. So I'm just going to roll mine up. You just simply well, you would wrap that round your neck, and it just provides more camouflage. But it gets the job done of being a scarf, really. Gets the job done, and it looks really good. Other than that, there's not much I really can add. It's a scrim scarf. So let's move on to the final piece of kit. Here we have one of those iconic pieces of airborne kit, the Denizen Smock. right here is the Denizen smock. This is one of the most iconic and the most expensive pieces of kit of all time. Originals are super expensive, and this is a Soldier of Fortune reproduction that I actually got for Christmas, so love that. And as you can tell, you got camouflage on it, you got pockets, and you might be able to tell. Here you have holes for underneath the armpits for breathability. Also you have pockets, Nui press studs, which they are absolutely crisp. Just take a listen. Absolutely crisp and brand new. There are many different patterns of Denizen smock that came out during the Second World War. You had the first model, the second model, which basically the first and the second have this zip up here. So you could do it up all the way, or you could just do it down. And there was another version where the zip went all the way down the whole length of the smock. But apparently it's very conflicting whether if officers had the full zip and infantry had this one. So the model I've got is the second pattern, Denizen smock. So what does that mean? Well, we've got, so the tail you see here, the donkey tail, or whatever it would be called, crotch strap, if you will. That's actually what this is. So if you were to jump out of a C-47 plane, what you would do is you would take this, and of course you would button that up to the front of the smock. The smock is supposed to be a large garment, and as you can see here, this is actually the label. Yes, this is a K-can for Soldier of Fortune. So when soldiers were issued these, some of them were really loose and baggy. Some of them were small, or not very small, but they were small. And it really depends how you like it, how you like the fitment of your smock. In my case, I am a size 40 chest, and this is a size 4 smock, which means this is a 40 to 42 inches on the chest, which is just perfect. And if we actually take a look here, these are done up, so these buttons are here so you can draw in the smock, make it look a little bit more presentable. But then again, a smock is supposed to be a large, baggy garment. It's not supposed to be as neat as battle dress, but this is probably one of the most iconic pieces of airborne kit of all time. So you take a look, when you think of an airborne soldier of 1944, you either think of the maroon beret, the Sten machine carbine, the Mark V Sten machine carbine, because apparently that's an airborne item, or you think of this Denizen smock. There's not much I really can add about a Denizen smock. Great pieces of kit, and that is the final item we are looking at. So yeah, I guess the next part of the project is the webbing, the 1937 pattern web equipment. So we'll take a look at that in the next part.